This is question 51 on chemistry from the 2018 NSAA. So you're given a reaction where copper and nitric acid form copper nitrate, water and nitrogen monoxide, and you're asked to balance the equation and work out the value of A for nitric acid. So what's the best way of tackling this question? Now we could just use trial and error to try and get the numbers, but this isn't foolproof and it can sometimes take a long time. So let's see if we can be more logical with our approach. Maybe we could look at the properties of what's going on in the reaction and see if this helps us at all. Specifically, the redox properties. You can see that copper is going to some positive form of copper, so maybe we could start by drawing a half equation. What would that be? So copper is clearly going from its neutral state to its 2+ state, because we know nitrate is a -1 ion. So the half equation for this is copper goes to copper +2 electrons. But to make sure we're keeping all the numbers balanced, maybe we should times this by 3, because we're starting with 3 coppers in the first place. So 3 coppers form 3 copper 2+ plus 6 electrons. So where to go next? Well, we know we have a half equation in this direction, that's an oxidation, and we need another one to cancel out the electrons, so that must be a reduction. So where's the reduction process in this reaction? So it clearly comes from the nitric acid, and it's not to the nitrate, but it's to the nitrogen monoxide, because it's in the same oxidation state here. So let's do a half equation for this. We have nitric acid going to nitrogen monoxide. So what do we start with? We need to balance the electrons, and for that we need the oxidation states of each species. So which rules can we start with for oxidation states? We know oxygen is always -2 in compounds, and what about hydrogen? That's always +1. So what does that leave nitrogen as? We have 3 oxygens that are each -2. That brings it down to -6. +1 from the hydrogen, -5. So nitrogen must be +5 to balance it out overall. For nitrogen monoxide, we've got -2 from oxygen, so nitrogen's +2. How many electrons do we need? Nitrogen's gone from +5 to +2, so that's +3 electrons. But we're not finished yet because we have unbalanced hydrogen and oxygen. So how do we balance out oxygens? We need to add water to this side because we've got 2 more oxygens on this side than we have this side. So therefore we add 2 waters. And how do we balance hydrogens? Well, we've got 1 this side and 4 this side. So we need to add 3 more H+ this side. So we have a half equation with 3 electrons, but we need one with 6 electrons so that it completely balances out this one. So let's double it to give our complete half equation. So now that we have our half equations, let's see if we can form this main reaction. So we start with 3 coppers, and we're adding 2 nitric acids and 6 H+. But of course these H+ are going to be in the form of nitric acid. So that makes 8 nitric acids. And we're going on to form 3 copper 2+, but remember we've used nitrate to cancel out the H+, so we use nitrate again to cancel out the copper 2+, and this gives us our copper nitrate. What's next? We have 2 nitrogen monoxides and 4 waters. And this looks like a complete reaction, so we can read off 8 is A. And this corresponds to answer C.